I'll start at the beginning. So,
Yeah.
what was it like growing up in Corrado, Bari?
Corato, my birthplace, obviously. It's a very agriculture town and a lot of fun because my memories of being an infant today and live on a farm actually, and a lot of good memories. I grew up there, I went to school there, and then I was drafted to go in the army. And I did my training in Orvieto, up in Toscana. And then when I finished my training, I requested to be moved to Rome, Italy, and was granted. I went to Rome, and I enjoyed the service there. I was assigned to the tank brigade. When I got my discharge, I went back to Corato. Just I couldn't do anymore because I couldn't. The life of Rome and the life in Corato was totally different. So, good memories, but I had to leave. I left, as an immigrant, I left Italy. And I came to US. I had several choices at the time, was Brazil, Venezuela, or United States. United States was my choice, much better.
What made you choose the United States and not the other two countries?
Open opportunities. A country with the excellent reputation, aggressiveness in open fields in many ways, and also the dollar was very attractive to everybody, all over the world. So that was my choice, and I'm glad I did that.
So, you mentioned before that owning a successful business was a very important goal for you.
Yes, it was. Back again when I was in the Army, I was assigned to the PX, a large store in a camp of 9,000 soldiers. And I learned quite a bit how to deal with public, retailing, selling, collecting money, various things. And when I came to US, my first job was a work in a delicatessen, and it was fine. And at the time, I made $35 a week. That was a lot of money for me. But I felt that I wanted to do something a little different, a little more exciting. And I found a job with a large soft cheese producer in the United States. The name is Polio Dairy. So I applied for a job. It was granted, and I learned a lot. It was exciting as well because I had to travel driving around the state of New Jersey, but still was not didn't satisfy my desire to what I wanted to do it. While I was traveling, delivering with this company, delivering food, I saw a sign in a window in Bradley Beach, New Jersey, in Monmouth County, store for rent. I stopped at my truck and I inquired next door if the store was still for rent or not. The gentleman happened to be the landlord of the store and said, yes, it is. Well, within a few days, I rented a store and I gave a notice to my boss to quit, to leave my job, and because I was going in business for myself. The desire was to do things better, to improve my life, to be visionary in many ways, which God gave me that incentive, and to do things better, and not only to express myself, to achieve my capabilities, or to exhaust my capabilities, but also to financially to create something different, something better, always. I did that. In March 31st, 1955, I opened the delicatessen. It was terrible. There was I did some advertising in the local paper, but it was by 10 o'clock. I was not accustomed. I said, well, I think I made a cardinal mistake. But it went well, because by 10 o'clock, the lady came in well-dressed, and she looked around, and I said, ma'am, may I help you? She said, I'll have a quarter of a pound of bologna sliced very thin. Mind you that I had prosciutto, capicola, Genova salami, provolone, all that stuff. She wanted a quarter of a pound of bologna, and that was 59 cents a pound, so my first sale was 15 cents. And I was happy, because at least I rang the register for the first time. However, that's just the minute side. The plus side is, by the time I closed that evening at 9 o'clock, I had $500 in the register, and I felt that, God, have I achieved the most outstanding goal. I thought I owned the United States at the time. $500 in the register, cash. Life went on, and it was very nice, very profitable, very demanding, a lot of pressure. It was like 24/7 almost. But my my business life started, and I was very happy that I made that decision. Very content at the end of the day.
So, what is the story of Roma Food Enterprises, and what did you learn from working as CEO?
Roma Food Enterprise was was rooted right at this delicatessen that I opened. Being Bradley Beach in New Jersey, it's a shore area, and it's a resource for the summer, because a lot of people, they come to the beach. They go to the beach in that area. And many restaurants in the area, inevitable on the weekend, they're in out of food or some kind of product. And they came to my store to pick up if they need a 10 pounds of sausage, they might need a piece of salami, prosciutto, or mozzarella. However, I asked them, I said, don't you have a supply? He said, no, but the supplies, they come down here only once a week, and on the weekend there wouldn't no supplies in this area. I got an idea. I said, this is maybe an opening. I started to canvassing when I had a couple hours late at night, and seeing the same people that they came to patronize me at the weekend at my shop. I asked them, I said, well, what if every week I'll come and see you, maybe you give me a small order. So they did. There was a great welcome, almost all the restaurants in the area, and that's the way I started to distribute product to various restaurants and delicatessen like myself. This was 1955. By 1961, I purchased another store in Keensburg, New Jersey. So I had two shops going at the same time, and a small distribution, a low panel truck. The start of it was hard, and obviously humiliating at times, because not everybody gives you an order. But in all, it was a good start, and I pursued that. And by 1964, I registered the name Roma Food Distributor in the state of New Jersey. This was a state registration in Trenton, not federal. the business flourishing extremely well, and by 1974, then it was registered as Roma Food Enterprises, Inc. That was on a federal site. So not only I had the registration as a state registered, but also as a federal registration as a Roma Food Enterprise, Inc. And it was from then on, it was a question of simply add on dedication, make sure that was the motto that I had, quality and service. Because if you have quality and you don't have service, there's no success. If you have the service and no quality, that doesn't work either, so you need both. And by doing so, the company became the size that it is, to very, very large on a national base. Was exciting, was a lot of work, a lot of stress, but it worked very nice.
So, how did Astro Pizza come to be? And what was that like?
Astro Pizza, truthfully, was not a good decision. However, I thought it was a good decision at the time in the mid-'80s. The pizza in US started to come up fast and furious everywhere. And been in food distribution, more specifically to pizza shops, independent pizza shops. I felt that perhaps we can start some location where we don't have customers, and open some shops in territory with no customer of ours, or perhaps we could not penetrate the market. So Astro Pizza was created, was a corporation, and I opened about, maybe 17, 18 shops. The idea was good. Obviously, we control our own destiny because we supply them and franchise them as well. However, the minus side was that when you distribute wholesale and then you go to the retail, your own customers start to resent that. So very quickly, I had to get out of it. I sold everything out because it would ultimately will damage Roma tremendously, because if a custom buys from Roma and then I open a shop within 1 mile, 2 miles from that doesn't create a good image for Roma. So Astro Pizza came to an end very soon, very quick.
But it was the first pizza in Russia.
That was successful because it was excellent promo for Roma in Astro. It was a visit from the mayor of Moscow that came to Trenton, New Jersey, because they made a sister city, Moscow and Trenton. And the mayor of Moscow came and visited, and someone took him to a shop which was Roma was supplying. He tasted the pizza, he felt that it was the best pizza he ever had. He wanted to know the product. So it was disclosed that Roma was supplying the product to this particular shop. We made contact, and the negotiations start, meaning, how would you like to come and make pizza in Russia? I said, well, sounds good, but I'm not so sure it's going to work out that well. But through negotiation, we arranged a meeting to go to Russia, and the deal was formulated, well formulated, and there was a April '88. Astro Pizza was in Moscow, and we had a grand opening, which was incredible. The amount of people lines, triple line around the unit to waiting online for pizza. And however, when we sold for rubles, the business flourishing tremendously because that was their own currency. One day out of the week, we sold for hard currency, meaning any other currency. It was very, very minimum compared to when we sold with rubles. Money-wise, I don't think was, well, it was success, but not very successful. Promo-wise, it was the best thing could happen to Roma because every TV camera in the world was there. That was the first American pizza in Moscow. So before we went to Moscow was Roma who? After that, oh yeah, Roma food we saw on TV was they went to Moscow and asked for pizza in Roma. So that was the plus. A lot of good fun.
So another big publicity thing Roma did, and a fun thing, was the world's largest pizza, twice.
There was a record of the largest pizza in the world. And myself and a few customs, quite a few customs, we felt that we should take the record back. So we went to Tallahassee, Florida, actually a small village named Havana, Georgia. Havana, Georgia. We built an oven 100 feet in diameter, outdoor, and it went well. We had all that participation of so many good customs that they participate in this program. And we achieved to make the largest pizza in the world, and we made the Guinness Book record, which was incredible. Thereafter, another company, they went to Johannesburg, Africa, and they broke our records again. Now we had to retake back. I think was sometimes in the 90s. We went back to Havana, Georgia, and extended the oven. The same oven, the only thing we extended, I think, was about 130, 140 feet in diameter. And we retook back our title. And since then, nobody else has dared to touch that particular record because 140 feet in diameter was quite a bit. Tremendous amount of pizza. And then, of course, we donated to several charities, the United Way, NIAF, National Italian American Foundation, Red Cross. There's so many. We donate all the proceeds because we didn't have a price for the slice of pizza. It was a donation. Some people they paid $1. Some people they give them $5. Some people they give $10 for a slice of pizza because it was a fundraising, and it worked out very well. But the good thing is nobody so far has broken that record.
So speaking of fundraising, what inspired founding the Piancone Foundation, and how has it affected you?
That's something that I started back when it was an earthquake in Italy, in Sant'Angelo dei Lombardi. There was a terrible. We actually, myself and a couple of friends of mine, we were there in this particular town in maybe 3 months before the earthquake came in. And thereafter the town was devastated. So I opened this foundation and fundraising to help all those people. Not only the one that they still survive, but also the one that they passed away, their families, and so on and so forth. So from that point on, the foundation was opened because of that. And then I started to I put out through the Italian American Foundation in Washington, D.C. I put it, the foundation sponsoring any student that they want to study about farming. So there's several students that they have chosen to be a farmer, and my foundation has been funding them. And they're very happy, and I'm very happy the fact that there's some of the young generation that pay attention how to farm and how to create a line, a sort of an idea that it's not dying, but the small farming, they're sort of disappearing. Obviously, the world needs produce, needs vegetables, fruit, but the farming of today is all humongous, tremendous amount of thousands of acres, which they do an excellent job. But my belief is that the small farmer, they should survive if it's all possible, but we need the young generation to get involved in it. And this is also one of the main reasons that the foundation has kept alive, among other donation, hospitals, and so on and so forth. So the foundation has been a good vehicle to donate some money to needed organizations.
So, once again, I want to thank you for this interview. And I have one last question.
Yes.
So, of your many awards, do any stand out as being especially significant in your life?
All of them, Jed. All of them. Because I felt, and I still feel today, it's an honor to receive an award from many organizations, because some of them I have served, some of them they're just part of it, to being invited for dinners, but every award that I've received, I treasure each and every one of them, because it means a lot to me to know that an organization, regardless of the size and the identity, that they recognize a person, an immigrant like me. So I felt honored. Also, every one of them, it's a wonderful thing. So it's a wonderful thought for me to think about, that they chose me to give me an award.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. Piancone. This has been a wonderful interview.
Well, I hope I have expressed my thoughts, and the wonderful thing about today, I want to thank you for taking the time to do this. But more important, Jet, for your future, I can only hope and wish, and if I can be any support, please continue to do what you like, because it's a wonderful thing. The reason it's wonderful because it's your decision, it's your idea, and ultimately it's your creation. Don't stop. Pursue what you think is right for you, and only for you, Jen. The other people, including myself, we can only give you good advice, but ultimately you selected the one that's suitable to you, for you. Good luck.